This is an RC car. Wait, no it's not. This is a drone. This is an RC car, and today we are going to be giving you 5 tips for beginner RC drivers. Because if you are starting out in RC, then you are going to need to know some tips and tricks on things to do, how to do them, and what to do when specific things happen. Alright, let's get to it. Tip number 1. Always turn on your controller first. This is just like putting your socks on before putting your shoes on, instead of putting your shoes on before you put your socks on. Yes, you always need to turn on your controller first before you turn on your car, unless it says in the directions not to. So first you turn on your controller, then you turn on your car. And that's it. And that leads us to another small type of thing. Always turn the wheel before you start driving, like that, and only then can you start driving. Sometimes people have complained that they just press full throttle when they turn it on and it doesn't move, and they think there's something wrong with it. But usually what it is either you don't turn your controller on first, or you turn your controller on first, then turn the car on, but then you don't steer. You need to steer to make sure it works, and that actually gets everything rolling, and only then will it usually start moving. Tip number 2, always read your instructions. You need to do this. You're kind of dumb if you don't read them. I know a lot of people don't like to read instructions, but you do need to read instructions. I'm sorry. Why, you may be asking yourself? Well, let me explain. Usually with a hobby grade RC car, it's going to show a list of all of the replacement parts, and it's going to have an entire step-by-step guide of how to rebuild the entire car. Those are very useful. It also would explain if there's something different about this car that you would need to know, so please don't just tear up your instructions and throw them away. You need to read them before you start driving. I know it's super boring, but if you're like bored at night and you can't sleep or something, you can just read your instructions. That is what I did when I got my WO Toys in 979B. What time I would usually spend reading, I just sat in bed and I just read the instructions, and it was kind of fun, I mean, it showed how to plug the battery in, because it could have been different, and it was slightly different because this was my first hobby grade RC car. That is it for number 2. Number 3, buying the wrong RC car. Yeah, you know what I mean. When you buy like a $300, $400, $500 RC car, and then it comes and you have to like build it, or even if you don't have to build it and it's like crazy fast, really big, and like you just don't know how to control it or anything, that is not a good way to start RC. In my opinion, you need to start out with something like a toy grade, maybe a hobby grade RC car, but for me, I started out with this, the Crazon Phantom. Yes, this thing was literally $20 and it went 12 miles per hour. It was a great start for me. And then I upgraded to this, the WO Toys A979B, which I upgraded a lot. And see, I regret getting this right after. I wish I had gotten the Thunderstorm right after, because it's like a perfect size. They're both 1/18 scale, so they're like the perfect size. I wish I would have gotten the Thunderstorm though, because it goes slower and it's easier to control when it's at a slower speed. And this is still the same size, tiny object flying across the ground at high, crazy speeds. So I wish I would have researched the Thunderstorm more, or found out about it, because I didn't even know about it then. I wish I would have researched it, so then I would have bought that first, and then maybe I would have upgraded to this, and then one day I will upgrade to something even bigger and crazier, and maybe a little more expensive, who knows. But yes, always choose a good vehicle to start out with as a beginner RC driver. Definitely don't start out with like a Traxxas, an Arma, a Red Cat, a Low C, probably not even a WO Toys. I mean, you could start out with like a 144001, but that thing is $100, and if you are willing to spend that money, then yes, I would advise you to go get a car like that. It's like 30 miles an hour. It would be the perfect speed, perfect size, and the perfect RC car to start out with. And then maybe you could upgrade to something like this, or maybe even like a Traxxas Slash 4x4 or 2x2, whatever. Then that's your chance to upgrade to something more expensive and better. Number 4, try to learn everything you possibly can about your car before you purchase it. Whether it's online, or at a store, or on the actual company's website. Look at YouTube videos, look at the website's information on it. Try to learn everything you possibly can about the car. Now, if it's a Christmas present, in this case, this was to me, then you can't really research that, and that is perfectly fine because the person that got it for you most likely researched some about it. Make sure you do research everything about it before you're purchasing it. If it's like an expensive Traxxas Arma, Red Cat, or even the WL Toys, I had to research a little bit. I should have probably researched even more, but I didn't. And now I am kind of regretting getting an A97IB because All Things is Wheels, my friend, who's also featured on the channel, has an A959B. And I wish I would have researched it because it's such a tiny car and it goes 40 miles per hour. And sometimes I wish I would have had a slightly slower car at that size. So make sure you do research your car before purchasing it, whether it's online or in a store. Number 5, the final tip. This one is pretty important for hobby grade RC vehicles. This is what the final tip is. Not looking up, learning, or even trying to fix your RC vehicle when it breaks. If it breaks something, it is usually a minor part. Even if it breaks more than one thing, you can still fix it. Hobby grade vehicles, every single part is replaceable. You can get a new body, you can get new wheels, you can get new drive shafts, new diff cups, new suspension, new swing arms, new central drive shafts. Even for this plastic chassis, I could get an entire aluminum chassis. And all this is like on eBay, Amazon, and even the company's website. You can look on YouTube how to fix all these parts, how to get the replacements, what replacements you'll need, all that stuff. And then you can have the car back to normal. Now you will be spending some money. Obviously you are going to need to spend extra money. But for cars like WL Toys, my swing arms right here were only $8 for 4 of them. Now there are some expensive ones that should not be so expensive, like on eBay and Amazon. Like on Amazon I got drive shafts for like $15 and they fell apart in months. Don't get them. I've said this a million times, but don't get them. Please don't. It's very disappointing when they fall apart. But make sure you do actually take the time to fix your RC car when it breaks. It is not completely dead and gone when it breaks like a plastic swing arm or a drive shaft. You can just order a new part and then you can get it, look up on YouTube how to fix it, or even just try to fix it yourself. All you need is your car or a screwdriver and an Allen wrench, which is over there, that's why I don't have it right now. And all you need is a replacement part. And then you can just fix it. That's literally all you need. It's as easy as that. But that is all the tips and tricks I can think of right now. If you do like our content and would wish to see more, well then, we have our channel right up there. Or right up there, I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it. And then we also have 2 videos on either side of me. Make sure to go look at those. We have a versus video with this and the A959B somewhere over there. Make sure you go check those out. Support our channel. Subscribe to our channel. Goodbye.